Alrighty, I just took images, but I decided to go into video because this is real-time documentation regarding vagina monitoring that the people are engaged in. Okay, this is a sex offender that's creating activity. That's light activity while they're in the vehicle on the ground, and that's also activity while the government's monitoring my vagina. Behind this wall, where engineer light is on it, where engineer light is on the ceiling above, where the entity is engaged in the exceedingly violent sex offense of criminal surveillance in the bathroom, doing so with all of the people of the state. This is massive sexual violence that is inhumane by merely consideration of numerosity concerning my vagina and concerning what is private inside of a private space, including at a facilitating venue. The entity that's engaged in what is stalking just like see the same exact conduct at the Ontario Town Square. All right, this is the entity that's flying over my head, flying over the buildings, and they're going out of their way, I want to be clear, to engage in what is letting you know that they're monitoring your genitalia. This is relevant to the psychological torture behind the sex offender that is UPS, that is Southwest Airlines, that is the Ontario International Airport. These are those that are conspiring murder together, not only these companies, but the government itself. I'm going to prosecute UPS, that's a third party. I'm going to prosecute Southwest, that are violent sex offenders that are engaging in that. Half of the population, the people of the state, including sex offenders that are driving school buses, engaging in the pattern of conduct. That's why the fake sun is here. All right, if you're looking at the documentation I'm publishing online, 2022, in May of 2022, the fake sun is over me right here at this entrance at 11 o'clock in the morning, where the Ontario Fire Department is monitoring my vagina. The entity has the fake sun over me right here at 4 o'clock, 4:05 to be exact, in the afternoon, where the entity is monitoring my vagina. The totality of the evidence is speaking to the government. That is a violent sex offender engaging in what is in concert with the people. And this is a serial stalker I've been documenting for a series of days. Engaging in what is working at the venue is a means of documenting serial stalking as well. Serial stalking is that which is committed in furtherance of murder in concert with the state. This is a sex offender. She's in relevant position to the bathroom where the government's flying over by plane. She's monitoring 7WHN 603, 9SAD 377. This is omnitrust gang stalking. That's why the fake sun remains over me while I'm on that bus going in whatever direction at whatever time. These are the violent sex offenders who are the people of the state. This is P.O.C. This is psychopathic pacing. It's going to go on the playlist regarding mental illness. This is what the people are doing. It's psychopathic pacing. Alrighty, and this is mentally ill conduct while the entity engages in this behavior, and they're doing it all over the internet. That is a violent sex offender, and they don't have any flights hovering over the Ontario Village Shopping Center. Alaska, not taking any flights. None of them are hovering over the state of, like they are, by the way, over the Ontario Town Square, which is where the Ovid Family Community Library is, which is in this setting where a population is engaged stalking together in furtherance of murder. This is all relevant to the Ontario Police Department, which represent the government that kidnaps and murders, and they're doing so with regard to the ability to enable that and facilitate that as an entity that's engaging in what is the surveillance system under the guise of law enforcement. And that's why those domestic terrorists and the domestic terrorist leader Michael Renz are being federally prosecuted. And you're seeing how the system itself is serving to prosecute itself, while any aspect of the entity is engaging in the pattern of conduct in the specific environment. It's pointing to everyone else. You don't have one feature without the rest of it, and you'll never have what is engineer light on the without the entity being prosecuted for. In fact, when you are investigating surveillance by a government, by people, mysterious murders and whatnot, you are aware of the fact that the entity has committed it while they're in this environment where there is no mystery, there's no investigation. It's an entity that's murdering systematically, kidnapping, engaging in what is sacrifice. All right, and that's what UPS, Alaska Airlines, and Southwest Airlines are engaging in, and doing so while I am documenting it. They're monitoring my vagina at 7:08 a.m. This is P.O.C. This is Stater Brothers. I want you to see that because I'm associating sexual violence with the brand. This is relevant to the federal RICO case. Stater Brothers is acting pursuant to the pattern of conduct. Every business in the state of California is engaging in the same sex offense, the perpetual sex offense. It's light activity. All right, and they're doing so with the government that's pacing over the parking lot. It doesn't get any more direct with regard to prosecuting. POC, it is 7:08 a.m.